A new twist in the ongoing impeachment battle. A federal judge ruling former White House counsel Don McGahn must testify to House impeachment investigators. A setback in President Trump's efforts to keep his top aides from testifying. This could lead to renewed efforts by House Democrats to compel testimony from other high-ranking officials, including former National Security Advisor John Bolton. The judge's decision is likely to be appealed.
House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff, in a letter, says his committee is preparing an impeachment report to submit to the House Judiciary Committee soon after Congress returns from the Thanksgiving recess.
Revealing, quote, a fact pattern that is overwhelming, unchallenged, and damning.
Report stems from closed-door depositions and public hearings into President Trump's dealings with Ukraine.
Secretary of Defense Mark Esper now saying President Trump gave him a direct order to stop the disciplinary process against a Navy SEAL. The now ex-Secretary of the Navy Richard Spencer fired over his handling of the war crimes case of SEAL Eddie Gallagher. President Trump insisted that Gallagher not lose his Navy SEAL Trident pen after being convicted of posing with the corpse of an ISIS fighter.
We've been thinking about that for a long time. That didn't just happen. And I have to protect my war fighters.
The president welcomed members of the Special Forces unit involved in the raid that captured ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in northern Syria. Also there, Conan, the military dog who cornered the ISIS leader inside a tunnel.
No, the dog is incredible. Actually incredible. We spent some good time with it. And so brilliant, so smart.
He was injured during the raid and today received an award for bravery. The president is expected to sign a bill today that makes animal cruelty a federal felony. The Supreme Court has granted President Trump's request for an emergency stay concerning his financial records, meaning they'll remain private while the justices decide whether to take up the merits of the case.
A federal judge has sentenced a Chinese businesswoman to 8 months in prison for trespassing at President Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in March and lying to Secret Service agents. The judge also ordered the woman deported after she completes her sentence.
Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam is refusing to offer any concessions to anti-government protesters, despite a local election setback. At her weekly news conference, Lam says the central government in Beijing didn't blame her for the outcome, in which a pro-democracy bloc won a landslide victory with 90% of seats.
Hong Kong could no longer tolerate this chaotic situation.
And Israel's Attorney General saying Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu can remain in office while under indictment. Netanyahu is facing charges in several corruption cases.
And thieves in Germany targeting one of the oldest museums in the world, the Green Vault in Dresden. They got away with 18th century Baroque jewels.
2 federal prison guards on duty the night accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein died, appearing before a judge today and now claiming they are scapegoats in this case. Prosecutors say Michael Thomas and Tova Noel falsified records to make it look like they performed 30-minute checks the night Epstein was found dead in apparent suicide in Manhattan, allegedly caught on surveillance cameras appearing to sleep or shop online. The pair have now pleaded not guilty. The grim discovery in the search for that kidnapped college student in Auburn, Alabama. Authorities believe they have found the human remains of Anaya Blanchard in a wooded area about 35 miles away. The stepdaughter of UFC fighter Walt Harris, she was last seen more than a month ago. A third suspect is under arrest tonight.
Atlanta fire officials say 16 kids and 3 adults have been taken to the hospital following a carbon monoxide leak at a daycare. They say the leak appears to have come from a furnace. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg returned to the bench today following her weekend hospitalization for a possible infection. 2 turkeys heading to the White House are getting ready for their close-ups. Bread and butter came from a small family farm in eastern North Carolina. They'll be a part of the traditional White House turkey pardoning ceremony. After a 2,000-mile journey, this year's Christmas tree that will sit on Capitol Hill is now in Washington, D.C. The massive 60-foot blue spruce was brought in from Carson National Forest in New Mexico, making 31 stops in 9 states along the way. The tree will be lit next week by the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Over at the White House, forces bringing in the Christmas tree today for the traditional Christmas celebrations. There's the First Lady greeting the tree.
Several states across the West, all the way into the Great Lakes, are under alert for winter storms. Several are going to be moving through the area just as we head into the busy Thanksgiving travel week. So here's the map, and there's all those advisories: winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings. We have winter storm watches for heavy snow stretching from California all the way to upper Michigan, and wind alerts across parts of the Southwest. So let me time out the first of those two storms that'll be moving through. This one is going to start off tonight into tomorrow, and that's going to bring heavy snow to parts of the Rockies. Denver could pick up a couple of inches, heavy snow moving into the plains as well, and eventually Tuesday into Wednesday across the plains into the upper Midwest, with heavy snow moving into Minneapolis, up into Michigan Wednesday morning. On the backside of that front, you're going to see along it heavy rain stretching from the south all the way into the Northeast throughout the day on Wednesday. But it's not just that storm. That's just storm number one. We're also looking at storm number two moving in Tuesday into Wednesday, and that's going to be across the west with more heavy mountain snow, very strong winds. Some flash flooding could be found anywhere across the Southwest over to the East Coast on your busy holiday travel day on Wednesday. And here's how much snow we can expect from both of these storm systems combined. We're going to see heavy snow stretching from California to the Midwest, a swath of 6 to 12 inches of snow from Michigan back through Colorado, and then that mountain snow in California and the Sierras could reach 1 to 3 feet. So very dangerous travel, low visibility, strong winds and blowing snow ahead as we head into Thanksgiving.